camping alone would be peaceful. One weekend, one tent, one quiet forest. But at 3 a.m., I woke up to the sound of footsteps circling my tent and a shadow tracing its fingers along the walls. I told myself it wasn't real until I saw the footprints leading straight into the water. I have never been the type who enjoys crowded campgrounds with families parked in RVs, kids screaming, and the smell of someone else's hot dogs drifting through the air. For me, camping has always been about solitude, about freedom, the chance to step away from cities, traffic, deadlines, and people, and just exist for a while. That summer, I decided to do it alone. No friends, no half-planned road trips with people who only cared about beer and Bluetooth speakers. Just me, my gear, and a stretch of forest outside state park boundaries where I wouldn't be bothered. The map on my phone wasn't perfect, but I trusted myself. I'd grown up hiking. I thought I knew what I was doing. The trail wound deeper into the woods than I expected. Cell service flickered in and out until it disappeared completely. By late afternoon, I stumbled onto a clearing. A still pond sat at its center, surrounded by pines that leaned so close together they looked like black teeth against the sky. It was quiet, in a way that didn't feel natural. No birds, no insects, just silence and the faint ripple of water. I told myself it was perfect, isolated, peaceful, exactly what I came for. I set up my tent, built a small fire, and cooked dinner from the provisions I'd packed. The sun dipped low, spilling orange light across the surface of the pond. By the time it vanished, the place had changed. The woods I thought looked calm, now pressed in heavy and dark. The water no longer reflected the sky. It looked like a sheet of black glass. That's when I heard it. At first, I thought it was nothing more than a trick of my nerves. Just the snap of a branch, the rustle of leaves in the wind. But then it came again. Distinct, rhythmic. A step, another, and another. I tossed more wood onto the fire so its light would reach further. My eyes searched the tree line, but there was nothing. Just endless black. My skin prickled all the same. 30 minutes passed before I heard it again. This time, closer. Heavy. Deliberate. My hand hovered over the knife I kept near the pack. It wasn't much, but it was all I had. I shouted into the dark. "Hello? Who's out there?" Silence. Only the pond, still and motionless, reflecting the weak orange light of my fire. I told myself it was an animal. A deer. A fox. Something explainable. I crawled into my tent and zipped it up, determined not to think about it. But then came another sound. Not a step. A scrape. Like fabric catching against bark. I lay on my back, holding my breath, every nerve in my body rigid. My pulse thudded so hard I thought whoever was outside could hear it. 10 minutes passed, maybe 20. Eventually, exhaustion overtook fear, and I drifted into a restless sleep. I woke to cold air biting at my face. My fire was dead. The woods were silent. My phone read 3:03 a.m. Something else had woken me. A smell. Damp earth mixed with something sharper, sour, almost rotten. And then, before I could sit up, I saw it. A shadow on the thin wall of my tent. Human-shaped. Still. Waiting. It moved slowly, dragging along the fabric, tracing the outline of my body inside. My hand crept to the knife, trembling so violently I nearly dropped it. And then the shadow slipped away. Branches cracked, footsteps retreated. I didn't dare follow. I lay awake until the gray light of morning seeped through the nylon. When I finally stepped outside, the ground was marked with footprints. Clear, human, leading straight to the pond and stopping at the water's edge. The next day felt wrong. The forest wasn't just quiet, it was watchful. Every time I bent to gather firewood or refill water, I felt eyes on me. I tried to keep busy, tried to fish, tried to convince myself it was just paranoia. But as the sun fell again, dread pooled in my stomach. I should have left. I knew it. But night comes fast in the woods. Hiking out in the dark was suicide. I told myself I could make it one more night. This time, I didn't light a fire. I sat inside the tent, wrapped in shadows, hoping to disappear into them. For hours, there was nothing. No sound, no movement, just blackness. And then, footsteps. 1, 2, 3. Not one set, several, surrounding me. I froze. My chest tightened. My body screamed to stay hidden. But my mind betrayed me. I had to look. I unzipped the flap an inch, just enough to see. The pond lay still, swallowing the faint shimmer of starlight. And across it, between the trees, a light appeared. Small, white, flickering like a lantern. It hung at shoulder height. Then it began to move. Toward me. I pulled back into the tent, pressing a hand over my mouth. The light reached the clearing. It stopped. Hovered. Waiting. My ears rang with silence. 5 minutes. 10. Then it blinked out. But the footsteps kept coming. Branches cracked. Leaves shifted. Something circled me, slow and steady. And then, a sound on the tent itself. Scratch. A nail, dragging, from one corner to the other. My vision blurred with panic. I couldn't breathe, couldn't move, only listen. Morning finally came, I didn't eat, didn't pack carefully. I shoved everything into my bag, tore down the tent, and bolted for the trail. My legs burned as I climbed back the way I came. I didn't look back once until I reached my car. That's when I saw them. 2 figures, standing in the shadows where the trail vanished into the trees. Watching. Not moving. Just watching. I floored the gas and didn't stop until the forest was miles behind me. It's been a week since then. I've told myself it was exhaustion, fear, imagination. Maybe I hallucinated. Maybe none of it was real. But last night, when I went to grab something from the trunk of my car, I noticed the dust on the surface, and carved into it, long, thin lines, scratches, exactly like the ones I heard outside my tent. Subscribe for more stories.